This is falling apart.
Can anyone see the finish line?
Probably one of the worst works I ever did here. I feel so much overwhelmed by it. Kilo da, glaube ich. Dann hängen wir in der Flucht, oder?
Ich sehe, das ist ungefähr bis da. Ja.
Hoppa.
Welcome back to another week on the homestead. We are continuing our dry stone wall. Last week we spent a long time to figure out what the construction of the wall is. We started to point it. Robbie started to do his part of masonry work, of putting the new bit of the wall together to stabilise this side of the cave. And this week we will continue to do that until hopefully we're finished.
We have a helper here, probably means that we're twice as fast.
Or twice as slow. And that helper is Robbie's twin brother Luca. This part here in the middle of the wall is really lopsided and not that nice, the stones that were in there. So we've removed some of them. As you can see, it's a little bit chaotic. But basically I'm going to point now the top down to here, and then they are going to make this straight with some nicer stones. Always a bigger job than you think. Always.
Ist nichts, nix alles. Is that the next two then? You need to dig in. Oh, I already love the cave so much.
It's like the best part of the land in this 33-degree heat. It's coming along very nicely.
I'm just a little bit scared that we don't have enough stones
Yeah.
to finish the wall, otherwise we need to collect them from the roof, and then the tiles are not.
Yeah,
this is the
secure. Yeah.
Campania way of secure the tiles.
Or we could take them from the neighbours' roofs, obviously. There's another option. The more viable option, if you ask me.
Plan for today: finish this wall till the top. At the moment I'm digging the holes to adjust the stones. Quite a work, I can tell you. Too small now to work. Met plastic, hè?
Ja, mega.
Dat is blijft het maar.
Ja.
Ja?
Ja. Hoe staat het dan?
Stone is in. So last row, and then the wall is done. Or at least, yeah.
Luca's gone home now, and he was a very good help for us. We got so much done with him here. This morning I have still a little bit more pointing in the gaps here. We still need to fix around the sides, so that's complete. Robbie would finish this part here, and then finally we fixed the crown. Not all of it this morning, but that's what needs to be done.
The wall crumbled down a little bit around here, so I wanted to see what's behind this heap here. So what we're gonna do now is that we lay here the 2 stones and we build up here a wall to hold back the hill. So we will glue them, and in the front we will fill it with the stones again, so that we have a new unique look from inside. And the wall comes then flat till here, and then it goes up within the shape of the hill. That's the plan. Yeah, have it. You can do it.
Was it that? It's
Yeah.
really soft.
Oh, it was concrete. Yeah.
Another job.
Just to show you what we are working with here.
Good morning.
Welcome on our wall. So now that the base of the wall is finished and stable again, we can finally do what the initial plan was, to reconstruct the crown. We made this wall here with the tuff to stabilize the hillside, that nothing comes down anymore and it's stable in the back. And in front we will cover it with the big rocks, that we have a matching pattern with the rest of the wall. What we as well need to do is, we would like to have it in a straight line, just not here. Here it goes up in an angle. From here with the rest of the wall we would like to have it in line.
Yeah.
We need to adjust a little bit the stones and then we can glue them in. Things like that. And here we can put a flat one in the front. Here one, no? Like that we have kind of an edge.
It's a good way to test the stability.
Because we don't have enough work, I thought, let's do the back of the wall as well. This is falling apart. I feel so much overwhelmed by it. And I'm scaring a little bit that if I start to remove one bit, the next one gets loose and so forth. But when you want to have a wall, you need to work. What I did as well was to make the first curve up here and backfilled it between the tuff wall and the glued in stones with some big rocks, that it stabilizes all of it. So once this is dry, we can do the next until we're up, I don't know where. Roots. Whose idea was that to put in some shards? It feels like, how can we do the next owner do a really big favor? Let's put in some shards. Shard outs going to you. Maybe they thought we can drink here a Chardonnay. Oh.
as long as I'm by your side. Get up, turn, slowly burn. It's only in your mind or it's real. Heaven is what you feel. Still, we could be alright. We can do anything. I know I'm caught up in your dream, where the color of your skin is where I end and you begin. And for all I know, we could be alright.
Can anyone see the finish line? I don't know if I can anymore. Sometimes I can, then I look how deep these holes are and it fades away like a mirage. Lime is not that cheap when you buy it. 400 packs.
And we bought 5 bags in the end. So now we are in the count of 27,000. 26 and a half.
Originally we didn't even want to buy 10 because we thought it was so excessive.
And the other problem is the cheaper solution would be just hydraulic lime and sand. But we couldn't find hydraulic lime nowhere. This was our struggle.
First then you fall on your back. Heaven doesn't keep track. And still, we could be alright. We can do anything. I know I'm caught up in your dream, where the color of your skin is where I end and you begin. And for all I know, we could be alright. Alright. Alright.
We're finally on the home stretch of the wall. So I've just appointed all of this upper part here, and I went across here and done all of this. There's a few little bits where I would put in a little bit of lime and some gaps. The side part I will show you now. This is also finished. I just started to point the back and I'll continue to point the back. Today it's 36 degrees, really hot. There's a little bit of cloud coming, which I'm very grateful for because there's like no wind. So it's been a little bit challenging, especially to keep it damp as well. That's quite a challenge.
I glued in the last bits for the form itself. I filled up here with gravel in between, and now the idea is that we need to close it somehow, that the water doesn't go in the hill and then in the wall again. Another thing I need to do is to fill the big rocks behind the stones and the wall, so everything is nice and stable, and then we can tick off the wall. Yeah. Look at that. See the shells?
So this is kind of how the top of the wall will look. Robbie is still putting some stones here, and we just need to fill it now with the lime. And soon we're there. I can see the finish line. The finish line. Can you see the finish line?
Yeah. The finish line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks nice, no?
Uh-huh. Emily's already like concerned about the style.
So, but it's not perfect. The visual.
I love when you try to pass it to me with your little T-Rex hands.
All of the top is covered. Now we wait for this to dry. Tomorrow we scratch it a little bit to reveal the stones underneath properly. Then we do this part and close it, and then I can't even tell you how hot it is already. We're both dripping with sweat. It's like 9 AM.
Opa. We fill like the gaps in between the stones with sand. Normally you don't do that because you need to have the drainage between the rocks, but because we will not have a lot of water pressure from the hill here, I thought it's okay to do it with sand. So therefore, the sand stabilizes the stone nice and firmly underneath, that they can't move anymore. No, just try. Like, make a jump and then lift it above your head. Not a jump, like a... Yeah, and you don't need to let it. You see that you can, my love.
I can.
You can. Don't give up that fast.
Not today. Not today. Can I push that? Like, oh yeah. Oh no.
Very good. fine. Probably one of the worst works I ever did here.
Really?
This bit up here. Horrendous. I think someone from the first class can do that better. I think the heat took its toll on me. No, it's really straight. This is a lesson when you mess something up. This is how our relationship works. When you mess something up, you hope that the other one corrects it.
I'll do that, no problem, Delim. We will leave this week's video there. Obviously it was so much work and we're kind of done, but there's still some finishing touches that we still need to do, so we will put that into next week's video because now I think the episode gets a little bit too long. We just need to finish the pointing here, and then maybe we need to put a couple more stones on the outside of the wall. At the end I'll put a photo so you can see the wall before and after. Thank you very much for watching. We are going to enjoy some pizzas on our new wall. See you next week.
See you next week.